Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Jimmy Estrada
and Leah Estrada
with Jayla Consultants. As you guys know, we were just at the Vault last week in Miami, which we had a blast. We want to give you some feedback, my perspective, my wife's perspective. It was a great conference. It was aiming for people who were entrepreneurs, people who work with companies or executives, people who maybe want to just work their way up. I want to give you some highlights of the event. We'll start with my wife because ladies go first. What were some things that stood out to you at this event?
The speakers were awesome. I really enjoyed hearing some of their perspectives. There was a lot of people from everywhere, a lot of people from LA, a lot of real estate people. Oh, I did see a lot of people who haven't started their businesses just yet. Mm-hmm. They were just there trying to, get motivation to start their businesses. Yeah, so there was a lot of pre-entrepreneurs and real estate people there. That's what I noticed.
There definitely was a lot of real estate individuals, and I like the fact that you touched a lot of people that I met were individuals who were thinking about starting a business. One individual guy, I wish I remember his name. If you watch it, Ty. She's good with name guys. She's like the name whisperer. I'm serious, like she's so good with her name. If you ever forget your own name and you guys have never met,
I'll know it.
She'll know it. So Ty, shout out to Ty. He was a young man from?
He was from Philly.
Philly, great memory. And he is a respiratory therapist. And one of the businesses he was going to start was a vending machine business. So my mind automatically thought, selling candy.
He was a young kid too. He was like 24 years old.
Yeah. So my mind immediately said, oh, he's going to start selling food, candy, Hershey bars. I'm a big guy. But no, he was talking about selling things to cater to the community. One of the things he mentioned was even selling hair.
Weave.
Selling weed
from a vending machine and lashes and things like that. I was like, I never thought about that. But
so anyway, it was cool. So we met individuals like that. We also met another guy, Carlos from California. He works for a company that analyzes
sports memorabilia.
There you go.
Things like that.
And he said that his company was a little different that he worked with or he was representing because they did it through AI. So it was cool just to network, meet other people. As you guys may know, the market is changing. The world is changing. One of the things that you guys if you guys follow Valuetainment, one of the things you're constantly hearing is that we're going into some type of crisis, some type of correction, some type of market correction. And I noticed that was a theme for many of the speakers that were there. They were talking about, some of them felt like it was going to happen in 2 weeks. Some of them felt like it was going to happen in 6 months. But one of the things we did understand was that they feel like something's coming within the next year. I want to read this quote from the Vault 2022 manual.
It's a workbook?
Workbook that was given to us. And it says, leaders are born during a time of crisis. And then the question was, who do you need to become? So let me ask my wife, who do you need to become?
Well, it's funny you asked because this Vault made me realize that I really need to analyze who I am and who I want to be. I know who I am now, and it's not who I want to be. Let's talk about who I would like to be.
Okay.
Other than who I am. I would like to be a more determined, dedicated, and disciplined person. So those 3 D's is what I want to be.
Determined, dedicated, and disciplined.
Yes.
That's good. I would say for me, I want to be disciplined. Not just disciplined in business, disciplined in my spiritual life, disciplined in my health. As you guys may know, I started working out on the 4th of July with my cousin Carlos, and it hasn't been easy. But I just read a quote recently. I'm all about quote, guys. I love quotes. I just read this quote that I thought was interesting. And basically what it says is, seek discomfort or discomfort will seek you. And in this picture that you have up here, if I find discomfort, it's going to be working out, eating right, no pain, no gain mentality. But if discomfort finds me, it's going to be eating the bad food, sitting down, watching nonsense. One of the things that the Vault actually encouraged me to do is examine myself, examine ourselves, even to the point in our marriage. Sometimes I focus on building the business. I focus on learning new tools, but very little time. I even focus on myself, believe it or not, just because of how much of a mess I am. But I'm not seeing any outcomes at times in my personal life, spiritually wise. And then number 2, in my marriage. And I think that's the hardest part. If you guys are interested, I want you guys to comment below. I want you guys to like this video, but comment below if you guys would like to see more business videos pertaining to marriages. A lot of times we don't realize that a marriage is somewhat of a business. Would you agree?
Absolutely. If you want it to work, you have to work it like a business.
And we don't always have butterflies in our stomachs. I mean, she always has butterfly stomachs because of me. But
It's just bubble guts.
But it's not always, sexy. It's not always date night feeling. There's reality, especially when there's kids involved, and when there's egos, and when there's personality, different backgrounds. So we're not trying to make this a marriage seminar, but I do want to expose myself that in business, we need to think about ourselves holistically, not just from our health, but our spiritual life, our financial life, our marriage life, or in some cases, if you're single, your relationship. So I want to encourage you guys to really look at tools that may be able to help you out. This video was just a quick recap of the vault. I wanted to finish with one last thing, but I don't want to say something before we kind of wrap it up.
The whole thing, honestly, your personal life will leak into your business. Your business life will leak into your personal life. So you have to make sure it's all well-rounded and connected, working as a system. Marriage is included in that. So
I agree. I'm going to read this quote and then I'll finish off with one of the things that we heard that was impactful to me. It says, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river and he's not the same man." Wow, powerful. Who I was yesterday, I'm not the same person I am today. I could be a better person today, or I could be a worse person today. Just because time moves forward doesn't mean that my progress goes up. My progress could go backwards. And one of the things I don't want to do is regret anything. I want to look back in life and say that everything we did, we went all in and we did the best we could, even if we failed, because I'm constantly telling my kids, it is in failure that you learn. So I did this quick test with my kids. I told my kids, spell, I forgot what word it was, but we'll make one up. I told them, easy word, but let's just say I told them, spell the word dog. And they obviously know how to spell it, but I told one of the kids, spell the word dog. I forgot what word it was. And she said, D-O-K. I said, nope, it's not that. She goes, what is it? I said, it's D-O-G. She said, oh, okay. So I said, spell the word dog. And she's like, okay, D-O-G. And I asked her, did you get it right the first time? She said, no. Did you get it right the second time? She said, yes. So the first time you failed, correct? She's like, yeah. It was in your failure that you were able to learn the success. And that's something that we really need to apply in our lives, that we're not always going to be successful in our perspective immediately, but in failures, there are some success.
One other thing that we learned at the Vault was why. The why in our business. Why do we want to be successful? Why do we want to take it to the next level? You have to really analyze yourself and see what the real reason is, because if it's just money, money comes and goes, you're never going to be happy because you're just going to want more and more and more and more. For me, when I analyzed myself, why I want to be successful is because we have family. I'm going to use my parents, for example. They're just getting it older and we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do with them. And my motivation is to be in a position where I can provide for them a good, healthy, happy place for them in their old age. Friends and family, even strangers who need help, I want to be able to lend out a hand, supply with their needs, things like that. That's my motivation.
I think that's great. She wants to be able to provide for others, not just for herself. And I think it's very selfish to think about just wanting to have a mansion and a Lamborghini. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want to do, so be it. But it's going to be something much deeper. I believe in the story in the Bible whenever one of the disciples needed to pay taxes. Jesus tells one of his disciples to go to the river to open the mouth of a fish. And he opens the mouth of a fish and he's able to have the money that comes out of the mouth of the fish. And he's able to provide for the taxes that he owes, or he's able to pay the taxes that he owes. And one of the principles that stands out to me is that if God wanted us to have money, he would tell us to go fish and take money out of the mouth of the fish. Money's easy for God. So maybe he doesn't give us the jobs that we have just for money. That's obviously great. Who doesn't want money, right? Who doesn't want to be able to travel and pay for things? That's not the only reason why God has us in our jobs. It's to be a blessing for others. And some of us, maybe we can't be a blessing yet because we're still in a trial of, let me teach you a few things. Let me show you a few things. One does not learn a lot about their character when they're poor. They learn more when they have everything. when money is at hand, when time is like nothing, when health is like nothing, it is at that moment that I believe that your true characters come out. I have a good friend that once told me that if you were a jerk when you were poor, when you become rich, you should become a bigger jerk. You don't become a jerk because you're rich.
It just magnifies your
flaws. It just magnifies your flaws. It doesn't always magnify your true character. So with that being said, I'll finish off with this. One of the guys from Enron who was the CFO, he got arrested and went to jail for 10 years. And he actually came out and he spoke on ethics. And you may laugh like we did, like, why is he here to talk to us about ethics? But he basically wanted to talk to us about things not to do in business. Very powerful speech. But the thing he said at the end was that he's a Jew, and he talked about how the Torah has 613 laws. And he says that one of the laws is actually to be holy. And he talked about how the 612 laws we could keep. We could keep 612 laws by doing all the right things, but we could still not be holy. However, if you only kept one, which is being holy, naturally all the other 612 will fall in its place.
That you can also keep all of the other laws without being holy. That was the point of it, because you can go through all the loopholes and gray areas in business. You have to always think about the principle. Basically, his point was you can keep all those laws and not be holy. That's why the last law was specifically be holy. And keep those laws. You'll keep those laws if you're holy. Anyways.
Which kind of goes back to, if you focus on integrity, if you focus on purity, if you focus on honesty,
purpose,
if you focus on being holy, naturally, everything else will fall in its place, right? All right, easier said than done. We want to ask you guys to please subscribe, please share. We're trying to grow this channel. We are going to be interviewing different people. I hope the plan is to go to Value Entertainment and do a tour, so I'll definitely be putting that up here. I'm also going to be speaking to some of the people who are at the vault, getting their perspective on their businesses and things that help them grow. Anyway, we'll talk to y'all later, and yeah. All right, peace out.